Thank you for coming. This is Healing from Depression with Tony. Welcome to my channel. Really appreciate you guys stopping in. And today we'll finish the story. Last video, I was talking about buying the Xanax out the street, being in survival mode, and how survival mode is not pretty. And so don't be hard on yourself. Okay, so me and the guy that's working for me, he seen that I wasn't okay. And so we get these Xanaxes, which was dangerous. And so I did that for maybe a week. And I don't know if many of you know anything about Xanax, but it's pretty strong. It's pretty strong. It usually will knock you right out. I think the first night I got some sleep. The second night it didn't work at all. So I knew I was in trouble. I knew I had a big problem when the Xanax had no effect, and it just had no effect on me. And so I was processing that, and I was still just marching forward. I was like, well, maybe I'm overworked. Maybe I'm just, a little stressed about all this pandemic stuff or something like that. And so I just kept marching forward, kept pushing, kept going to work. My energy was down about 50%. And it was just not a great time. So how I got diagnosed, symptoms and how I got diagnosed. Okay, so I needed a new tire put on my car, but I had wheel locks on the car, and so I couldn't get the wheel lock off. And so I used to work for a company that had exotic cars, and so they have tools they can get wheel locks off. So I called up my old job. I said, "Can I come up? I'm having a problem with the wheel." So I went up and seen all my former coworkers, and so my former boss was there, and he was actually the one that worked on my car. He said, "Come on, pull it in," and he's working on the wheel to get the wheel off. And so they brought him the tools to get it off. He got it off, but this is what happened. He says, "Before you leave, I need to see you in my office." And I kind of looked kind of crazy at him. He says, "I don't like the way you look, and I'm concerned." And so, I got done, moved my car and parked, and then I went into his office. He closed the door. He says, "I don't like the way you look." He says, "You lost a lot of weight." He said, "You don't look healthy like you normally do." He said, "What's going on?" And I told him, I said, "I don't know." And I bust out crying, and I just hugged him, and he just hugged me, and he just kind of told me it's going to be all right. And then he shared a little bit of something he had went through. And so he told me, he said, "Listen, I want you to go get yourself checked for either anxiety or depression." He said, "I want you to go get checked for that." I said, "Okay," because I had no clue what was going on. I was just suffering. And so I think the next few days I went to, I switched hospital systems. I went to a different hospital system. And in my first visit, they went through my chart and they says, "You're suffering with depression." And I was like, "It can't be." I was in denial. I was like, "It can't be." I'd have been through this, I'd have been through that, I've been through that street stuff, I've been through this, I've been through that. I had been through a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of street stuff. I had just been through a lot that I thought toughened my heart up, toughened me up. But it didn't. This was different. This was different, and it didn't. None of those things mattered. Like I said, depression has no picks. And so I was just, because I had did every test possible in denial, thinking it was something else, and it was just that. And so they prescribed me some medication and some therapy. Hooked me up with a therapist, and I told him, I says, this is I just don't think it's that, until I finally realized it was that. And I just was tearful. I just broke down and I said, "Wow, this is what it's been all the time." And so they rallied around me. I had a really great medical staff, and when she told me that it was going to take about 6 months for me to feel the effects of the medication, I was devastated because I was like, I need help like yesterday, not 6 months from now. But so that's the story, the part where the symptoms and how I got diagnosed. And so I started doing the medication, taking the medication, started doing the counseling sessions, and it was tough. It was just a tough time because my energy wasn't good. I wasn't feeling strong. I had lost a lot of weight, and at that time, when I had lost this weight, I was like actually probably in the best shape of my life because I was actually training. I was considering fighting in something called the Masters. It's a fight tournament that goes from city to city uh, for people that are up in a little age, and I was in great shape, and I was going to win that thing. There's no doubt in my mind I was going to win that thing because I had prepared myself. I was ready to go. So it was just like a devastating time for me because I had always been super healthy. I never even caught colds, coming up, and of course, like we all know, when you're young, you're like immortal. So it was a double hit because my health was something I always hung my hat on, my health, and so it was just devastating. And so that's what happened at that part. And then I had to continue to just do the treatment, and the counseling. I continued, but it was a very, very challenging time because I uh, I was still trying to stabilize my sleep. My appetite just was not great at all. It took maybe a year or more for me to really get my appetite back, and it took even longer than that to get my sleep pattern back. And so, yeah, it was just a tough time. And so, during those times, I can remember just saying to myself, I don't think you're coming back from this, man. This is just too intrusive. It was a different animal. It was something I had never encountered before. Depression was different. It was, and I've been fighting in one way, shape, or fashion all my life. I've been fighting all my life, uh, one way or another. So I was used to fighting and being a fighter, but this was different. This was something I was having trouble fighting, and because I didn't recognize the enemy, I didn't. This was different for me. I had no idea what I was dealing with, so it was just a different it was a different beast, if that makes any sense for everyone. So yeah, and so I still had the business at that time, and I was just not great. I wasn't healthy. I wasn't really doing well. But at that time, in the last cycle of the business, I had some really good guys around me. I had some really good guys around me, and they took really good care of me. As they saw I was just not well, they took care of me. They even stepped in and was dealing with customers when they seen I couldn't do it. They like really just rallied around me, and I really appreciate that. That the guys that was with me at that time just really loved on me real hard, man, and really just watched over me, and was really protective of me. And so that was just, I'm really thankful and grateful for that part of the journey. Yes, we're just very, 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 very thankful and grateful for that part of the journey. And so, yeah, so fellas, I'm about to help you out. And this is for women, for men. This is what you ask a man. Never hang your hat on asking a man if he's okay and he says yes. We were trained from little children to say we are okay, so and I never go by that. When I ask a man how you doing, the first thing he says, he's gonna say, oh, I'm good. I don't care if he's got a nuclear war going on behind him. He's gonna say, I'm good, everything's good. And that's just not the truth. But that's what we've been taught. We've been taught to not interact with our emotions like we need to. And so, yeah, so I'm gonna help you out, guys. I'm gonna help you out, help everybody out today. This is what you ask a man. You ask a man, how are you doing on the inside? See, a man can't spin you with that. You know, a man will spin you if you say, how you doing? Oh man, I'm good. Everything's good. Oh man, I'm good. Everything's good. And it's BS, you know, but you have to ask a man specific questions. And that question, a man cannot spin you. You ask a man, how are you doing on the inside? And most men have never been asked that. So most men break down when you ask them how they doing, because nobody really asks a man how he's doing on the inside. And it's important. Men are walking around and they're carrying a lot of stuff. They're carrying a lot of trauma from the childhood, like most people are. They're carrying a lot of stuff that they haven't spoke about, so they got a lot of stuff that they would like to talk about, but they don't know where a safe place is. Yeah, so yeah. So the next video, I'm going to talk about what worked for me, like what different things that helped me get by day to day. I'll kind of, you know, share with you what worked for me, like what foods were good, because like my stomach wasn't cool. So I'll share what foods weren't. You know, I had to try. I'll share with how I attempted to reset my sleep schedule, and I'll share with you some of the highs and the lows of that part of the journey. So I just say to everyone, you be encouraged out there. For all the men, women, whoever's watching, I just say be encouraged. You know, it's not a death sentence. It's beatable. Look at me now. I'm back healthy, and I feel good. I sat on this for a while. I was never going to share anything like this, because one thing men don't do, they don't talk about when their armor has a crack in it, because we've been taught not to. But like I said, I've been just meeting men in the street, and men have been broken. I'll tell you these quick stories, a couple quick stories before I leave. Um, it was about 5 in the morning. I went to like it's our Wawa. It's like a 7-Eleven for coffee in the morning. So I asked this gentleman, "Hey, how you doing, brother? How you feel? Blah blah blah." He's like, "I'm good." I said, "How you doing? You really okay, bro?" And he started to cry, you know. And I had to go hug him, and we exchanged numbers. And I texted him for a few weeks, just some encouraging stuff to keep him up. And that was wow. It was a wow moment for me. But then I want to say a few months later, and that guy was a older white man. A few months later, a younger black guy, the same thing. I say, "Hey, bro, how you doing, man? You good?" "Yeah, yeah, I'm good." I said, "How you doing, man? You really good?" He just started crying. I had to go over and hug him. And so that's when I was like, you know, if I hide my scars, then people with scars that are going through stuff, that are in survival mode, they're going to think there's no hope for them, or they can't get through it. And that's just not the case. So I'm here to tell you, I'm going to be transparent with my scars. So hopefully it can help somebody just get through, to know that that you're okay, that you're going to be okay, and that you can beat this thing, that you can bounce back from that. So in a nutshell, that's what this is all about, to just encourage you to let you know you can bounce back from depression. This is Tony. This is my channel, Healing from Depression. Appreciate you guys for stopping in. And do me a favor, just be kind to somebody today. Pay it forward. Peace and blessings.